Hello, guys.
Hello.
Welcome to our official, unofficial first episode of the Lost Girl Rewatch podcast. I am Rachel Skarsten.
I am Anna Silk. We are very excited to be here.
Very excited. And we get to do this podcast together.
I know, look at us. We're actually together. I can touch Rachel. It's so nice.
We've been talking about doing this podcast for a while, but we haven't been together. And actually, I think one of the things, first and foremost, we want to say thank you to all of you who are watching this, because it means you signed up for Patreon. You are an early supporter of this podcast, and we're just really, really grateful for that.
Yes, thank you.
But we also wanted to tell you a little bit about the inception of this podcast and how it started.
Yes. And actually, I've seen on Instagram recently some people writing about, oh, we were there when this idea started.
Yeah, when it was born.
They were. Some people were.
The
Many
birth
people were.
of the Lost Girl Rewatch. But I know,
Yes.
well, what's funny was, so we were in Florida, for those of you who don't know, we were at a Comic-Con, and a fan, I wish I knew who it was.
I know. Who are you? You've got to tell us who you are.
You have to reach out to us. Reach out to us on social media, please. Suggested that we do a rewatch podcast. And at the time, like on the panel, I remember being like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah. And then after.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as we walked to like backstage, we were like, maybe we should.
I know.
Maybe we should.
Yeah. And
it's time.
And we thought it would be really simple.
Yes, we did. We thought it would be really simple.
But we found out it's hard for Seth, not for us.
Seth, my husband, who is doing pretty much everything. Like you can put these microphones here right now.
Exactly. This is because of Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you, Seth.
Yes. Thank you, sweetheart.
So that's sort of how it started. And we're really, really excited about it. We have a ton of amazing episodes. We filmed most of them so far. But before we release them, we just wanted to give you this little bonus episode. So one of the things that we do, so this part of this episode will be giving you behind the scenes tidbits. So one of the things that we do is at the end of the episode, we ask every guest a funny question.
We do.
Yeah. So get ready. And I figured, fair is fair. We should subject each other to the torture and trauma that
it is only fair. We can't ask people to do this and then not attempt to do this ourselves.
Yeah. So here we go.
So some of the funny questions that we ask. Okay, let's just jump right in.
Okay.
Rachel.
Yes.
We'll start because that seems fair to me.
Yes.
Animal sound.
Like the first one that comes to mind?
First one that comes to mind.
It was like, caca. That was just the first sound that came to my mind.
That's a really good animal sound. It's
Thank
really
you.
small. I feel like mine's going to be bigger and louder.
First one that comes to mind, go.
Okay.
It's like, it's like a fart.
That's what it is. It's an animal sound. I mean, that's totally an animal sound. I'm going to save that one. God, I just think of what my kids do all the time, which is, ow, 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 ow.
Oh, you sound like Chris.
I do. I sound like Chris. And so does Levi. My son sounds like Chris.
There you go.
He likes to howl like wolf.
There you go. Okay.
So there, I did it. I'm embarrassed, but I did it.
Okay. So one down. Next is a haiku or limerick.
The limerick. I feel like I still don't actually know what a haiku is. I mean, I know what it is, but
I should know what a haiku is because it says that I wrote a book of them on Wikipedia. Did you know the story?
Did you write a book about haiku?
No, I didn't. One night, Chris and Paul thought it would be funny to edit my Wikipedia page.
Oh my God.
I think some of you might know this story, but they decided to edit my Wikipedia page. And I didn't know about it at first, but people would start asking me about how I play the piccolo. And I was like, that's weird. I don't do that. And then they would congratulate me on my book of haikus. So finally I went on Wikipedia. Someone told me it was on Wikipedia. And then Paul fessed up to it. And I cannot for the life of me get it off now because I tried to then go on Chris's page first and edit something into his page. But I think I went a little too far and I got banned from Wikipedia.
Right. You've got to pick something.
I have a lifetime ban from Wikipedia. I can't sign in. So now I can't even change my own page. So I'm pretty sure it still says that I play the piccolo.
I mean, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I love how it's easier to put things that are not true than to take down things.
Yeah. Well, I guess Wikipedia thought it was highly believable that I played the piccolo.
You know what? I believe it.
Well,
I
there you
believe
go.
you could do that. And I believe you could write a book of haiku. But for limericks,
Yes.
we have been trying to find some Lost Girl centered
Okay. So
limericks. Let's just go.
there once was a woman named Bo.
Who okay, wait, start over.
Okay,
start
fine.
over. I need the rhythm.
There once was a woman named Bo.
Who really only heard the word go.
She loved Lauren and Dyson.
Make it rhyme, Dyson.
Okay, she loved Dyson and Lauren.
Lauren, that's hard to rhyme too. But boy, was she soaring.
Actually pretty good.
Yeah. Double entendre.
And that's how that story goes.
That's actually pretty good.
Let's
Okay,
go to the next thing we torture our guests with.
Yes.
Would you rather?
Oh yeah, would you rather questions?
Yeah. Okay. So, do you want to go first?
I'm only going to ask the only question I know how to ask.
Well, no, because then it'll spoil that you already asked that question.
Oh,
you
yeah,
have to come
that's
up with
true.
another would you rather.
Oh my God. Okay. Would you rather spend the rest of your life where every time you spoke, it was in the style of an opera?
Like I'm singing an opera.
Everything.
Right.
Everything you say has to come out of your mouth like that.
Okay. With vibrato.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or have unusually large feet, like huge, like skis.
You added the ski part because you realized it was weak.
Well,
you were like, she's going to go for the feet.
You wanted the depth. I wanted the understanding of how large your feet had to be to make it like cumbersome. It needs to be cumbersome.
Yeah, because if it was man feet, I would have taken it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you had to edit.
I had to add like training skis, like not the big.
Well, it's just skis are really cumbersome. Imagine going through life with skis. Like you couldn't get through doors. It would be handy going downhill, but uphill, it's a disaster.
Right.
Stairs.
Yep.
Never again.
No. Elevator. You're running late for the elevator. Bad news.
The opera. I mean, if I sang in my voice that I currently have, that would be bad. But if I had a good operatic voice, I could make a real go of it and just sing all the time. I could join the opera.
Yeah.
I could, sing on the street.
And honestly, if I could sing like that, I probably would sing all the time.
Yeah, I guess I'd take singing. Well, yours is nice. I was going to ask you would you rather have two boobs for hands or two boobs on your face?
Oh my God. And I have to spend the rest of my life one of these ways?
Yeah, I mean, you can still have fingers, but they're boobs
here. Is there
here.
two boobs on each hand or one boob on each hand?
One boob on each hand or two boobs on your face. And you also get your regular boobs.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Because let's see here. Hands, face. I mean, I think I'd have to say face. I know that seems like
you're going to be a boob face.
I'd be a boob face because I feel like I need to
But you can't cover it with makeup.
No, I would highlight it and make it a work of art. That's what I would do. And then everyone would just have to deal with it.
Free the nipple.
But then I could use my hands and say, look here, look. Oh dear.
All right.
You guys are in for a treat this season. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Fortunately, Anna's asking the would you rather questions to our guests. Otherwise, it would be real dark.
Everyone would have hand boobs.
Yeah. My other one I was thinking of had something to do with a hot dog. Like you could only eat hot dogs for the rest of your life.
No, never hot dogs. No.
But I knew you'd say no to that one. So it made making another one particularly challenging.
Yeah. I'm not a big meat eater, as you know.
No.
But
vegetarian dogs.
No, but anything tubed like that grosses me out. And I remember when I was in early junior high, and sometimes I'd eat meat, but it was really because I just wanted to fit in. So I was at a barbecue, and these other kids were like, they put hot dogs on a stick, and they were roasting them. I was like, I'm like, oh, come on, eat the hot dog pressure. So I put the hot dog on the stick, and I was roasting, and it kept falling on the ground, and I was putting it back on. Anyway, I finally get it in a bun. It's called like pebbles in it. And I remember just taking one bite and then just being like, this is going to come back up. And I didn't, but I spit it out and I was like, that's it. I'm never eating a hot dog again. Hot dogs are just so yucky to me.
Weird. I
So
would
whatever
love hot dogs.
on the would you rather, whatever the other one was, it would be my answer. Because never the hot dog. Never.
Crazy. Actually, when I became a vegetarian, I was so happy that it didn't really matter if you had a meat hot dog or a veggie hot dog. It just tasted the same.
Oh God, I know that's the worst. I don't understand that. I don't understand. I don't want.
But haven't
I
you ever
don't
gone to a
really.
ball game and like had a hot dog with like sauerkraut and ketchup and mustard and just be like,
But the veggie meats.
yeah.
Why would I want something to taste like something I don't want to eat already? Can't it just taste like vegetables? Anyway, this is a whole other debate.
What do you get when you put two vegetarians together?
Yeah.
Okay, so next up, wait, we had a next up, didn't we?
Did we?
Oh, yes. Okay, so next, this is really exciting. We are going to show you guys some exclusive behind the scenes clips from episodes thus far that are yet to be released. These were some of our favorite moments with our beautiful guests.
Please welcome the man that I still like to call Grandpa, Rick Howland.
There were like times when I had a lot of Faye dialogue and it just would not come out of my mouth. And I mean, there was one episode that actually Rob Lieberman directed. And I mean, he's like, I'll do whatever I can to save you in the editing room, but you've got to get this chunk out.
Ksenia Solo. Most difficult or challenging part of this episode?
Definitely running after Chris Holden Reed in the woods in heels. I think maybe that marked the beginning of Kenzie running in heels because it happened many times after that.
It did, yes.
And I remember how afraid I was to break my ankle. I had not been seasoned yet in the art of running in heels.
Paul Amos. How did Paul Amos feel when he saw the outfits he needed to wear as Vex?
Oh yeah, challenged every time. I'm very challenging when I first did it because that wasn't me. Like I don't think I hadn't really done anything like in that vein before. And you know, I'm from Wales. I like rugby, and you're going to the pub and drinking. So the idea of wearing high heels and tight leather pants and collars that are strangling me was a little out there for me. But yeah, I guess those are the great challenges that you get. You know, as an actor, you get to step into things that you're not comfortable with, and you get this kind of whole bag of tricks that you have to get yourself through it and to live other lives that you don't get to live sometimes as who you are as a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
amazing. Inga Codronel.
Like the way that, I don't know what you guys called it, like sucking the chi or something.
Yeah.
From them.
I mean, I always called it the succubus kiss, but that's what you're doing
And mine was like, I was talking to them and I was like, I think hers should be a little more aggressive. And yours was like sexy and lovely. And then mine was kind of like harsh.
Emmanuel Vauger. What was the most difficult or challenging part of filming the episode? Do you have any memories watching it from that angle?
Also, the wardrobe.
Of course, right?
Like, I mean, yeah, everything was very tight.
Everything was very tight.
So there wasn't a lot of, like after lunch was a particularly difficult time in my life. Post lunch, I had to make, I was like, Emmanuel, make good choices. You make good choices here because you are going to regret your choices if you don't.
Yes.
Because right now you're wearing sweatpants and you won't be in about half an hour.
Sweatpants and Uggs. And then, And you know what? And it's hard sometimes to make good choices on set because as you know, you're exhausted.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then what do you go to first when you're exhausted? Sugar, caffeine, and you're just like,
totally.
So
welcome back. So another thing we're going to be doing in the episodes, just for you guys who are on Patreon, is a very special episode where we answer all of your fan questions. So I thought it would be funny to randomly choose a fan question.
Random select. Nothing predetermined here.
Have you ever been to Argentina? If not, would you like to visit us?
And who asked that question?
Cinema_floor.
Ooh. No. My answer is no. I mean, yes, I'd like to go. No, I have not been. Have you been?
No.
You've been to a lot of places.
I know. I back actually around Lost Girl times, I used to have a list and it had all the countries in the world and I'd like cross them off as I visited them. And I had this thing where I had to go to like 5 new countries a year. But I also feel like when you marry someone who's from another country, then when you have time off, you just end up having to go to France, but having to go to that country. So now I feel like my country, also it's been COVID. It's been harder to travel.
Yeah. Do they eat hot dogs in France?
Okay. All right. You pick one. You do this random scroll down.
Okay. Oh, you don't have my glasses on. So wait.
Okay. Won't there be more seasons? You are all great. I will be glad to meet one day. Take care and have a nice weekend. Oh, that's very sweet, but it's not a question. That's from Tanya Yordanova. 89.
Very sweet. Very sweet. Okay, let's try again.
This is like Russian roulette.
Right here.
Imagine there was a question that was like, why are you so dumb?
What is with you? Oh, I know this. We know this fan.
Marilyn. Okay.
Yeah, Marilyn Karanji.
Yep. Odds and I will try to be there. No, these are not questions.
These are not questions. These are really sweet things saying that you're going to be watching and thank you.
We love you.
Okay. Here.
Okay. Love you, Lost Girl. Ladies, I miss seeing you on my screen so much. Thank you. This is from Annie the Mighty. My question is, what would you like to see happen in a Lost Girl movie? Oh, this is a good question.
Gosh.
Well, obviously I'm very dead. So perhaps a resurrection.
Yeah. Start with a resurrection.
Or actually, you know what? I think it Chris or maybe it was Emmanuel said that I could come back as my daughter.
Your daughter at the age you're at now, obviously.
Well, yeah. And I mean, unless we just automatically restarted, they could CG my face onto a baby's body.
I think that should be the poster for the movie.
It's good we're doing a podcast, not a movie.
Yes. It would have to start with a resurrection. And we'd also for Trick.
Okay, but even then it couldn't start right away because I died. You took my child and then would I just come back to life right away?
No, but she grows up. By the end of the series, she's grown up.
But why do I come back like 14 years later?
Because there's a movie to make. You come back to check on your daughter.
But why wouldn't I have come back sooner? I mean,
because there's a Valkyrie
when
rule
she was
where you
7,
gotta be gone
she needed
for
me
19
too.
years or whatever. We can make it up.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. I had to be gone for a certain amount of time. Then I come back. Interesting.
And you've been keeping a watchful eye.
Right. And I didn't like how you chose almond milk and not soy. Because you raised my daughter.
Right. Of course. Yes, of course. Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And I've been making the wrong milk choices for her.
Insane. Had to come back.
And Bo is, so succubi stop aging at the age they're most alluring. So she's still unbelievably beautiful and alluring, of course.
But you still are. I think so. I don't think you look any different from when we filmed. I remember, actually, this is a funny story. So we were going to talk about how we met one another, but a little bit after I met Anna, I remember it would have been quite a while because we were filming that scene where Chris was dancing shirtless, one of the best days of my life.
Duran. Yes. Yeah.
And Anna and I had to do was just sit there and try not to laugh at him, essentially.
And like play the drums.
Yeah, we were like, and poor Chris. Anyway, so I remember sitting on the bed and you were saying something and you referenced your age. And it was so shocking to me because I thought you were younger than me. And I was like, what? Like, how is this possible?
Wow. Thank you, Miss Skarsten.
I also thought you were so nice that you were probably a serial killer. Now I've known you for 11 years, so I know you're not. And you really are that nice. But I was like, nobody is this nice.
That's very sweet. I also do have a collection of bodies in the basement.
You're next.
And you're next. No. Thank you. And oh my God, that episode was fun. Playing teenagers was fun. I remember, so Rachel came on into season 3, right? And I remember they cast Tamsin, who was going to be this new kind of foe for Bo, like come in and sort of shake up her world a little bit.
Yes.
And I remember they showed me your photo, this headshot, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, I can see. I mean, she's pretty. She's
What?
quite beautiful. Yeah. Can I see that photo again? I just want to see a little closer. You were so beautiful in the picture, and you're beautiful in real life.
Thank you.
And so I felt sort of deeply intimidated, as most actors do, but it was perfect. It was actually perfect because that's how Bo should feel too. But then, of course, I met you and you're a giant dork.
That's true.
Not just beautiful, but also just so lovely and sweet and personable. You know what? I feel so lucky for reals that we get to do this together.
I know,
because
me
we've
too.
never, we've been on set together. We've been to cons together. We've had lunches and dinners together, but now we get to do something together that's kind of ours.
I know.
You know?
That's how I feel too.
We're so lucky.
That's part of, obviously, we're doing this for you, but we're also selfish. So I feel kind of like, it's like when you adopt an animal and everyone's like, oh, you're such a wonderful person. And you're like, what do you mean? I'm getting so much more out of this deal. That's how I feel.
I feel like that too. We're lucky.
Yay.
It's an embarrassment of riches over here at the Lost Girl Rewatch podcast.
But also, I feel like we were talking about something and then we got sidetracked. Do you remember what that was?
The Lost Girl movie.
Oh, right. Okay, we didn't finish it. We have to finish the Lost Girl movie.
Okay, so Resurrection.
Okay, so I come back.
Right.
Okay.
The daughter's there. Bo's sister.
Right.
She's your daughter, but she's my sister.
Yes.
And we have to show her, we have to school her in what it means to be a kick-ass woman in the Fae world.
What's the problem, though? There has to be like a catalyst.
The problem is she just wants to be a YouTube star and not, I'm trying to think of the youth of today. What is the problem? Oh, someone's got to be after her. Someone's coming for her.
My daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my sister.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's happening with Lauren?
Lauren and I are still together.
Okay.
We have made a beautiful home.
Yeah.
It is, it has solar power and all the things that it needs.
Yeah.
And her and I have adopted another child.
I love that.
So the sister and your daughter has a step sibling.
I love that.
Yeah.
What about Vex? What's Vex doing? He around? And Trick.
I know.
Trick died too. We have to bring
Bring Trick back. We've got to bring Kenzie back.
We have to bring Dyson back.
Dyson back. Wait, did he die? No, he didn't die. He owns the doll. He's at the doll.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to see him like.
I'm like, and he died. Wait, no, he didn't.
He's dead.
I feel like he's at the doll.
Maybe he died in the years in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say that. Let's say that. Let's just make sure everyone died and then comes back.
Right. It's a resurrection of. I mean, it is. It's a resurrection of everyone. But I think we'd all love to do a movie together.
I think it would be incredible.
Yeah.
I really do. I think enough time has gone by to like jump back in and be like, hey, and just like pick up and go.
But also, okay, granted, you worked like 7,000 times more than me, but I always felt like it was going. I mean, I think I've said this before. It was sort of like summer camp. That's what I used to call it.
Yeah.
Going to work. It was so lovely.
Yeah, it was lovely. It was summer camp.
Yeah,
it really was. It was a special time. And going back and watching all these episodes, I'm just like blown away at the memories that are coming back and seeing how we were all so good and so committed to it. And the storytelling was so rich. So I look back and I'm like, wow, we actually did that.
Totally. Well, and again, we say this all the time, and probably a lot of you who are listening to this have come to a con or heard us say this somewhere else, but also just what the show represented. I love that. I look back and I think, wow, that was really cool. And a lot of our guests have talked about that and how, now we take it for granted that there's more content like that. But at the time, there wasn't. And
no.
It was really special.
Yeah. And it's been so interesting to hear the other cast members talk about their experience. Because even though we know them really well,
they've told me things I didn't even know.
Me too.
I'm like, what?
I know, me too. And like everyone's experience of the same thing is different.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, resoundingly, they all say how much they love me, but
they do. that's true.
That's not a surprise.
Not a surprise at all.
A couple complaints about Anna, but we edited those out.
I had a suggestion box outside my trailer. So if you had a problem, you could put, I'm just kidding. I didn't. But I should.
No, we would have fucked with you. Are you kidding? We would have put so much shit in there.
They'd be like,
Paul and I would have spent our entire
Anna,
lunch
ready for you. And I'd be in there crying, like reading the suggestions. I can't win.
I can see the hairs in your nose.
Oh my God, can you really?
This is why you couldn't have a suggestion box.
No suggestion boxes.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, we want to thank you again for signing up early, subscribing to Patreon, subscribing to YouTube, following us on Instagram, doing all of the things. You guys were the OGs. You followed us right off the bat, and we're so, so, so grateful.
Yeah. And thank you for trusting us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really special.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to bring you more fun content and see where this all goes.
Absolutely. Because as you are Patreon members, you're going to be getting bonus episodes. I think we're releasing them every second episode. We'll release a bonus content episode just for you. We have them all planned. They're going to be great. Yeah, they'll be better than this one, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. This was
I'm like,
this was like a this was like a 4 out of 10.
A free for all. I'm going to give it like a 6.5 out of 10. I think there's room for improvement, but I think we brought something, and
a little panache,
a little animal noises, some very bad limericks, and
right,
but a genuine fondness for each other. And I feel like Bridget.
A genuine fondness. What are your boobs? A genuine. But you have to do it this because they're on your head.
Yeah.
A genuine fondness.
You had them up here?
Where?
I had them here. In my mind,
I didn't specify.
No, you didn't. In my mind, I was just going to be like a chipmunk cheeked, boob cheeked cutie
with nipples.
Yeah. Here. But I could do this, right?
No, you cannot do that because you can't alter the would you rather. That's the whole point of the would you rather.
Oh God,
that's why I specified no makeup.
I don't think makeup can cover boobs.
Like when you said skis, I couldn't be like, oh, but are they round? They were long. They're skis.
God.
Well, there you go.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for joining us.
Everything.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing more of each other and more of you guys. And peace out.
Yeah. Peace out.
Peace out.
Mwah.
See the moon rise up, set in the wine. See the moon rise up.